Hey everybody, it's the Mouth of the South, John Schiavone, along with my co-host, the Beast of the East, Jonathan Perriente. We are the hosts of Downtown Sports, your podcast home for everything New York sports. And if you haven't heard, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let us explain. First off, it's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Then Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Here's what you guys need to do. You need to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. Once again, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Let your voice be heard. Be the voice of the voiceless. Anchor.fm.
What's up, everybody? I'm John Schiavone. It's the Mouth of the South. This is Downtown Sports. This is where sports come home. And I am very, very angry. I'm just going to get straight to the chase. Rob Manfred needs to not be commissioner of baseball any longer. Why, might you ask? Very simple. He seems to have made every wrong decision. He's flipped every wrong switch. He's pushed every wrong button since this COVID-19 pandemic and situation began. COVID-19 starts. A couple of Yankees spring training players get the virus. They shut down the entire thing. So no spring training, start of the season is postponed until they can figure out how to play the game of baseball safely with COVID-19 running around. Okay, reasonable. All the other sports shut down, we understand that. I'm not blaming Rob Manfred for that. Anybody with a sane brain in their head would have done that. Here's where I start to blame him. Then we get to the point where we're starting to figure out how do we get Major League Baseball to be played, right? So at first they released the Florida and Arizona bubble plans where they were going to have the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League, and all these teams that never played together are going to be mixed with each other. They weren't even going to be in the same divisions as they were in the regular year. You were going to keep them in two places where COVID was starting to spike. That plan wasn't the best plan, but they float that idea out. Press hammers it, press hates it. So obviously they take that idea off the table. In the meantime, Rob Manfred is, employing his great negotiational skills by trying to get the players to take a deal where they would have a 50-50 revenue split with the owners, meaning 50-50 revenue split, for those of you that are unfamiliar with sports contract terms, that basically means hard salary cap. So obviously baseball players weren't agreeing to that. They didn't want to do that. And then they come out with proposals giving them 75% of their salary. Players don't agree on that. Players come out with a proposal for 100-something game season with their full prorated salaries. Manfred doesn't agree with that. These guys can't get anywhere close to what they wanted to do. So Rob Manfred then says, well, we're going to have a 60-game season. Please report. Now, you would think, okay, what's so wrong with that? Negotiations didn't go well. Manfred ordered a 60-game season, and that's what's happening, right? Okay. It didn't have to be that way, first off. Second off, if that was going to be the final solution anyway, why didn't you just say, look, July 4th, the season's going to begin. We're starting training camp here. We're just installing the 60-game season. We can't afford to do more than that at your prorated salaries, guys. Sorry, let's move on. You could have had baseball on TV for Independence Weekend. Manfred ruined that. So that's the second reason. Third reason. In response to players saying that they would not play if they had to live in a bubble, Mike Trout saying, I'm not leaving my pregnant wife. Well, now he's on paternity leave. His wife's about to have their child. Zach Wheeler, I'm not going to leave my pregnant wife. I'm not going to stay in a bubble. How do you expect me to spend 3 months away from my newborn? Multiple players had concerns like this. So this started to coincide with states opening up. Governor Cuomo of New York even said the Mets and Yankees are welcome to play in their home stadiums with no fans. They're welcome to conduct their spring training in their home stadium with no fans. A lot of other governors are saying the same thing, so Manfred says, okay, here's what we'll do. They finally come out with this three-hub tiered plan where you had the AL East and the NL East playing in the eastern half of the country, the AL and NL Central playing in the central half of the country, and the AL and NL West playing on the western half of the country. I was against the idea of them traveling around to different towns to play baseball in the first place. I don't understand why you would take the risk of taking multiple people and moving them across multiple state borders, traveling all around. We don't necessarily know how this virus spreads or how infectious it could be. We have assumptions. We think we know. We tell everybody wear a mask and, you'll reduce the risk of spread, but it doesn't stop it. Every time you make these guys travel, it's another chance they have to catch the disease. So then you also say, you have to enforce specific rules. I heard people were all supposed to be wearing masks in the dugout. You can't spit, you can't slap five, run up and hug each other. Yeah, all those rules are being broken too. Nobody's enforcing those. And then we have an entire team basically in the Miami Marlins that's caught coronavirus. 19 out of 24 players. Now we're seeing reports, I think the number is up to 6 St. Louis Cardinals that have coronavirus. Manfred's first response, and this is the last reason he should be out, when 19 of 24 Marlins tested positive, he said, and I quote, they had no considerations to canceling the season. The season will not be canceled. Now we see another team, 6 positive cases. Manfred says if by Monday the league doesn't have better control over this COVID stuff, then the season could be in jeopardy. Meaning he could stop this season. In fact, today they had a gigantic conference call with all the owners. I think on Monday you might be seeing the end of Major League Baseball in 2020. But here's the thing. It didn't have to be that way. I understand if we're not going to play sports in 2020, they don't play sports in 2020 for the safety factor of it. I understand that. But Major League Baseball went about this the wrong way from moment one. From them dropping endless amounts of rumors about where they're going to play, what plan they're going to use, the grapefruit and cactus league plan, then the 2-state bubble plan, then the 1-state bubble plan, and all these different things that they kept leaking to the press. Nobody's had anything, legitimate to say. Then this rigmarole with the players going back and forth with them, basically claiming that Major League Baseball owners are crying poverty, and since they don't have gate sales, they're not going to be able to pay the players their full salary because they're all going to lose money. Major League Baseball doesn't like to mention the national TV money when they talk about when they talk about crying poverty. The national TV money that the players don't see a damn red cent of at all. So there's that. And then part 3, where you create this regional hub plan, and then when a whole team of players get the virus, you say, we're not shutting down. And then 3 days later, once another 6 players on another team in another one of your 3 regional bubbles, or hubs, because they're not bubbles, they were bubbles, they wouldn't have had the virus because these players wouldn't be traveling from city to city. That's how you catch the virus. So if they would have had bubbles instead of hubs, maybe this wouldn't have been a problem. But now that a second team has it, 2 of your 3 regional hubs are infected. Now we're starting to see that Manfred saying we might shut it down. But here's the thing, it didn't have to be that way. It still doesn't have to be that way. But Major League Baseball really wanted to run this regional idea. Meanwhile, you have people like Governor Cuomo saying, hey, you want to use the state of New York to play Major League Baseball? Come here. We have Citi Field, we have Yankee Stadium, as you all know, Coca-Cola Field in Buffalo, MCU Park, Long Island Duck Stadium. Come do it in New York. Manfred said nothing in response to that. Major League Baseball does not have enough time to restructure how they're going to do this season, put it into a bubble. So if the spread goes on, there will be no 2020 baseball season. And if there's no 2020 baseball season, there should be no Rob Manfred as commissioner. If they have to announce that the 2020 Major League Baseball season is canceled, for all the reasons I've stated in this entire piece, Rob Manfred should be canceled right along with the season. Because all Rob Manfred has done is been greedy, irresponsible, gutless, and now just beyond stupid. I don't know of any other executive that can make that many bad decisions and still keep their job. I don't think Rob Manfred should be the magical special snowflake that gets to keep his job, even though he screwed up this entire return to playing baseball more royally than anyone could have ever imagined. I'm the Mouth of the South. This was a Downtown Sports Rant. Thanks for listening.